We are very proud to announce that since 2015, we've helped over 1,000 international candidates achieve their dream of becoming chartered engineers, and we're very proud of our candidates' 100% pass record. So a big congratulations to you all. We have received feedback from chartered candidates that they have been rewarded with promotion and added responsibility for achieving chartered engineer status. In addition, becoming professionally registered has raised the profile of the companies that they work for. The feedback we received from companies is that they have benefited from having professionally registered engineers when bidding for prospective work, as it gives clients confidence that the people being supplied for work actually meet a minimum benchmark of requirements to be suitably qualified and experienced. Achieving professional registration has helped our candidates with professional mobility. We have assessed the skills of engineers and provided expert advice to help them move forward with their migration goals to the UK, Australia, Canada, and the US. We continue to help both qualified engineers and engineers in training with skills assessment for temporary or permanent migration. So we would like to use this opportunity to thank all our candidates worldwide who we have helped with professional registration. Please do not hesitate to leave comments on our channel if you have benefited from our service. Thank you very much. We will now consider the requirements for professional registration from 4 different UK professional bodies. So this way the candidates will know what to expect and can plan accordingly. Be rest assured that we will accompany you right from the start until the moment you receive confirmation from your professional body that you are a chartered engineer. We will start with the Institution of Civil Engineers, and we will be using flow diagrams because it's a very good way of looking at the whole story from start to finish. So your professional journey to become a chartered civil engineer will start with an academic assessment of your credentials and will end with you obtaining a chartered engineer status with the Institution of Civil Engineers. So we'll just zoom into this flow diagram and see the different stages involved. So the whole process will start with an academic assessment of the candidate's degree by the ICE, and afterwards the candidates can either apply for iEng or a CEng. Okay, so if he or she has got master's degree, then the candidate will be applying for a CEng. Okay, now it is possible for a candidate to apply for a CEng even with a bachelor's degree if the candidate produces a report, basically a technical report, that proves that the candidate has got an equivalent of a master's learning that was obtained from work. Okay, so that is possible. So in terms of the reports to be produced, the very first one would be a report which is roughly 2,000 words. Okay, that's the very first stage. This would permit the candidates to have the necessary educational base for the CEng. Okay. After this stage, the candidate will go through a career appraisal phase where the candidate will produce a report which is about 5,000 words. Okay. So this is part of the initial professional development. Now, if the candidate is successful at the career appraisal phase, he or she would be expected to produce a professional review report, which is about 5,000 words long. If the candidate is successful, it will be time to prepare for the professional review. Now, before then, it'll be necessary to prepare thoroughly. Now, we would prepare you because we have got mock interviews lined up, so do not hesitate to contact us to prepare you thoroughly before you attempt the professional review interview. So the interview is about 75 minutes long. You'll be expected to present to the panel, and there will be a communications task at the end. If you decide to go through the iEng route, you can actually top up to the CEng if you produce a report. Okay, so this is the path to CEng with the ICE in a nutshell. So we will go through the checklist so you know exactly what to expect. So the very first step is the academic assessment, where you will be required to produce an experiential learning report. So this is going to be based on the decision that the ICE would deliver. Okay. Afterwards, it'll be important for you to read all the necessary guidance documents. Very helpful. Speak with your sponsors and your mentors about your plans. And the next big report will be the IPD report. Okay. You make sure that your dates are all sorted so you are applying at the right time. Okay. So the next thing will be your CV. So make sure you've got your CV all sorted out. Again, contact us if you need help with preparing CV to the right standard. Okay. And then you get ready to fill out your professional review application form. Make sure your sponsors are ready to support you. So it's important that you check with your sponsors, your mentors, your line managers. So everyone who is helping you with your report, make sure your report is read thoroughly. Make sure your CV has been sorted out. Okay. Do not hesitate to contact us. We can actually help you write your report, proofread, make sure everything is to the right standard. Okay. So this will also be the time to prepare your presentation and practice for your communications task. So again, we are here to help you. Do not hesitate to contact us. Get ready with preparations for mock review interviews. Okay. So after you have made payments to the ICE, you ensure that your sponsors and your mentors, your reviewers have all signed and filled out the necessary forms. You send out your application, and then it'll be time to prepare for the professional review interview. Okay. So you would need to plan accordingly. You might have a face-to-face interview. In that case, you make sure you're properly dressed for the occasion. Okay. Alternatively, you might be having an interview over the internet. So it might be an online interview. Again, you should dress as professional as possible and make sure you've got the necessary setup to ensure a smooth interview. Okay. And after your interview, there'll be time to relax and wait for the good news. Okay, so congratulations, you are a chartered civil engineer. The Institution of Engineering and Technology, IET. So, just like for the Institution of Civil Engineers, the whole process starts with an academic review of the candidate's degree, and it will end with the candidate being awarded a chartered engineer status with the IET. So again, we will zoom into the flow diagram and look at the different portions of the flow diagram. Okay. So after an academic review of your degree by the IET, you will receive a confirmation from the IET requesting that you apply for either the iEng or CEng path. Okay. In any case, you can always write a report. So if you contact the IET, we'll provide the email for you. If you contact the IET with a draft of your report and your credentials, you can actually make a case to apply for CEng even if you do not have a master's degree. It all depends on the level of experience that you have got, the number of years of experience you have got, and whether or not you can write a quality report to justify that you indeed have received training which is equivalent to a master's degree while at work. Okay. Now, once you have achieved the required educational base for CEng, it'll be time to proceed with the actual application. So make sure your sponsors, your mentors, and a professional registration advisor is at hand to support your application. Okay. You complete your application form, complete your accountability diagram, your continuing personal development reports, your development action plan, and if everyone has gone through your reports and verified it, it'll be time for you to submit your application. So if you are successful with your application, you will be invited for the professional review interview. Before then, it's necessary for you to prepare adequately for your interview. So we have got a series of mock interviews to drill you and make sure you're fully prepared for the interview. Again, do not hesitate to contact us. Now the interview would last for about 1 hour, depending on obviously on how well you perform at the interview, how well you answer the questions. Okay. You would be expected to deliver a presentation for 15 minutes. Again, we have got templates. We can actually help you produce quality presentation to the required standard. Okay. And be ready to answer questions on your reports, on the experience you have gotten from working, on your CPD, your development action plan, your organizational chart, and you would also have an opportunity to ask the panel questions of your own. Okay, and afterwards it'll be time for you to wait patiently for your results. Okay, so we look at the checklist. So like we said, the process kicks off with an academic assessment of your credentials. Okay, and following the academic assessment, you should receive a confirmation from the IET giving you the green light to proceed with your application. Okay, so you look at the attributes as per the UK-SPEC. Make sure that you align your experience with the different attributes and you produce your reports to the required standard. So this is where we can help you produce a quality report. Okay, you make sure that your sponsors, your line manager, your mentor, your professional registration advisor are all on hand to help you review your reports. Okay. So it's advisable for you to use the career manager to fill out your report and download the necessary documents. Okay, it's very important that you prepare for the interview like we said earlier on. So we will produce necessary support documents. We've got questions and answers that cover the mock the interview, and we'll produce a mock interview for you. Okay, so at the end of the interview, you would have to wait for the results and you know get ready to celebrate after you become a chartered engineer. The Institution of Mechanical Engineers, IMEC-E. So the chartered engineer process for IMEC-E starts with an academic review of the candidate's degree by the IMEC-E and ends with the candidate being awarded a chartered engineer status with the IMEC-E. So we will zoom into the flow diagram and look at the different sections. So after the academic review, the IMEC-E would confirm that the candidate can apply for C-Eng. Okay. Now it will be a good time to get things ready. So once a confirmation from the IMEC-E has been received, the candidate should ensure that he has got sponsors to support his or her application. So sponsors, mentors, and a professional registration advisor. It'll be time to complete the application form, submit the application form. So mock interview. It's very important to prepare before the actual professional review interview. So we have got series of mock interviews to prepare you for the actual interview. And the actual interview is actually a chat, a discussion with the panel. It will last for about 45 minutes. It might be longer, okay? And it will be based on your reports, and expect different questions to be asked on the experience that you have acquired. You would also be given an opportunity to ask questions to the panel. Okay, so think about very good questions to ask. And if everything goes well, you will be awarded Chartered Engineer status with the IMEC-E. So we'll look at the checklist. So like we saw in the flow diagram, the whole process kicks off with an academic assessment to see if the candidate has got an accredited degree. Okay, so once you've received green light from the IMEC-E, you start with your report. So you make sure that you have read the UK-SPEC, the latest edition. You know that your attributes, the attributes have been well aligned to your report. Okay, produce a draft report. Make sure that report is checked by your sponsors, your mentors, your line manager. Do not hesitate to contact us for support with your report. Okay. So make sure your development action plan and your professional development records are in order. Get your organizational chart ready. Okay. Once your report has been sent off and it has been approved, it will be time for you to prepare for the professional review interview. So make sure that you have gone through a series of mock interviews to prepare yourself for the interview. Okay. And make sure you're well dressed for the interview. So whether it's a face-to-face interview or an online interview, make sure you are well dressed. And after the interview, you relax and wait for the good news. So congratulations, you are a chartered mechanical engineer. The Institution of Chemical Engineers, ICHEM-E. So the whole process would start with an academic assessment of the candidate's degree by the ICHEM-E, and it will end with the candidate being awarded C-Eng. Now we'll zoom into the flow diagram and look at the different stages in more detail. So, an academic assessment of the candidate's degree. Following the assessment, the candidate could be requested to produce a report to show that he or she has got the required educational base for C-Eng. Okay. However, if the candidate has got an accredited master's degree, the candidate can proceed. So it will be deemed that the candidate has met the educational base for C-Eng. Okay. So afterwards, it will be time to produce reports as part of the initial professional development stage. So it is possible that the candidate is working for a company that has got an accredited company training scheme. In that case, the candidate will have a mentor or a line manager who would be reviewing his progress over a number of years. And at the end of the period, when the candidate feels he or she is ready to apply, he would have to produce a form. And that form has to be checked off, verified, signed by his sponsor or his verifier. Okay. Alternatively, if it's a candidate who is working for a company that hasn't got that scheme, he or she would have to produce a report. Okay, so do not hesitate to contact us for guidance on how to produce this report. Okay, if the candidate is successful, they will be expected to produce the competence and commitment report, so which is between 3,000 and 3,600 words. And afterwards, it'll be time to attend the interview. Okay. And if the candidate is successful, he or she will be awarded chartered engineer status with the ICAME. Right, so we'll look at the flow chart. So the first on the list would be the candidate has to join the ICAME as an associate member. So if the candidate has got an accredited degree, so it makes things very easy. Otherwise, the candidate will have to go through the individual case procedure where he or she has to produce a report. So it's a technical biography, okay? And afterwards, it'll be time to submit the accredited company training scheme report, okay? That's for a candidate who works for a company that has got this accredited scheme. Otherwise, the candidate will have to produce an alternative report. Okay, make sure your CV is ready and your CV actually maps all your competencies. Okay, contact your sponsors and make sure everyone is happy for you to apply. Make sure you've contacted a professional registration advisor. Okay. So make sure your development action plan and your professional development records are intact, in order. Okay. For the professional review phase, it starts with a payment. So you've got to pay the necessary application fee to the ICAME. Okay. And get someone to sponsor and support your application. So preferably someone who is chartered or a fellow with the ICAME. Okay, if you are struggling to get people to support you, so if you do not have someone who is chartered in your company, for instance, do not hesitate to contact us or to contact the ICAME. Make sure your CV has been reviewed by your mentors, your sponsors. Will help you write your CV, will help you review it if you require that service. So do not hesitate to contact us. And then get your report ready. So your competence and commitment report. Have the report verified and get ready for your professional review interview. So like I said, do not hesitate to contact us. We'll prepare you for your mock interview. Okay. So the actual professional review interview might be a face-to-face interview, or it might be an online interview. Make sure that you are well dressed for the occasion, and after the interview you would have to wait for the results. So wait patiently, and so again, congratulations, you are a chartered chemical engineer. So thank you very, very much. Do not hesitate to contact us. So make sure you comment and subscribe. We've got our phone number if you need to reach us by WhatsApp or mobile call. Send us an email. Please like our Facebook page. Join our Facebook group because we would be answering your questions. And join the Emphasis Engineering LinkedIn page, follow us on Twitter, and we wish you the very best in your professional career. See you very soon. Bye bye.